Hello everybody, I'm Joe and welcome to Hello English. In today's lesson we are going to look at two very similar words that have slightly different meanings and usages. Those words are sleep and asleep. So, sleep and asleep are two different words which both refer to the same thing. It's sleeping. Okay? The students often have problems with these words because they're so similar, but we have to use them in different ways. Another thing is, which I'll get to later in the lesson, we can give them both to mean two slightly different things. So I'll speak about that at the end. The first main difference between the two words is grammatical. To sleep is a verb and asleep is an adjective. To sleep is an action verb. So, for example, I sleep at 11 o'clock. I went to sleep last night. Or usually my dog sleeps outside. Sorry, I didn't answer the phone yesterday because I was sleeping. Okay? All of those are examples of ways to use the verb sleep to talk about something that I was doing. Okay? That's the main way to remember sleep. It's something I can do, something you do, something we usually or sometimes don't do. In some cases, sleep can also be a noun, so we can use it in the uncountable form, such as, oh, you look really tired. Did you get enough sleep? Or, how much sleep do you get every night? Okay? In that sense, we're using the noun to talk about the act of sleeping. We can also give it a countable form in very informal situations. For example, I could say, yes, only 5 sleeps until Christmas. And asleep is an adjective. We use the adjective asleep to describe the state of being asleep. Okay? So we could say, my kids are asleep in the next room, please be quiet. Or maybe, when I got home last night, you were fast asleep. Okay? So that is a way to describe something that you are, the state you are in. Alright? So the verb to sleep is what you do. The adjective asleep is what you are. We can use the two different words to mean the same thing. That doesn't mean we can just replace one with the other. For example, I can't say you are asleep or you are sleep. It's incorrect. The second one is incorrect. What I can say is instead of I was sleeping, I was asleep. Rather than using the past continuous form of sleeping is what I was doing, I can use the past form of to be. I was asleep. Okay? I can also use pretty much any situation. We can just switch the two as long as we rearrange the sentence to fit. Okay? For example, my husband is sleeping next door. Can be, my husband is asleep next door. Were you asleep or were you awake? Were you sleeping or were you awake? Okay, we can interchange them a bit. In all of those instances, they mean exactly the same thing, but we're just using the adjective to describe the state that we were in compared to the verb is what we were doing. Now, the tricky part is the subtle difference in the way we can use them both to talk about a choice. Okay, so we can use the verb to go to sleep. Going to sleep is the part where I'm awake and then I go to sleep. It's the switch between being awake and asleep. In the same sense, falling asleep. We fall asleep means exactly the same thing. The switch between being awake and asleep. I fell asleep. As I said, where that gets tricky is the subtle difference in meaning that native speakers will pick up on. And as an advanced English speaker, you need to know the difference too in order to use it and understand it correctly. So when I say go to sleep, that is a choice, something I chose to do. For example, after this lesson, I will go to sleep. After this movie, I will go to sleep. I'm feeling very tired tonight. I think I will go to sleep early. Or even last night, I was so tired, I went to sleep at 8 p.m. On the other hand, falling asleep is not so much a choice. Falling asleep is what happens to you. You don't choose to do it. For example, this lesson was so boring, I fell asleep. Or maybe, I was so tired last night, I just fell asleep at 8 p.m. I didn't even turn off the light. Or maybe, my kids fell asleep in the car. They were so tired. We can really see the difference if I give you an example. If I tell you, last night my wife fell asleep on the sofa. Maybe we were watching a movie, she was so tired, and she just fell asleep. But on the other hand, if I tell you, last night my wife went to sleep on the sofa, that means she chose not to sleep with me, but on the sofa. So you might start wondering what I had done wrong to make her want to go and sleep on the sofa. I hope that lesson was helpful for you, and please remember to like, share, subscribe, and leave some comments. If you have any more questions, ask them on the website at eloenglish.com. Thank you very much.